Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We're really happy that you're here. My name is Robin Braun. I'm the co-founder and director of Inside Out Theater. This is Darius J. Manuel, founder and director of Renegade Theatre Company. And again, we're really happy that you joined us today, so thank you. Darius and I met about a year and a half ago to partner on an Art of Community project funded by the Community Foundation of Broward. And our project, AMPLIFY Voices for Change, was designed to give a voice, give platform for populations that are typically experience prejudice and discrimination. And the way we did that was we started with community forums throughout Broward County for a variety of populations, to listen to them, to hear their stories, hear their challenges and their experiences. And then we moved on and developed a podcast channel. And finally, bringing a diverse group of residents together to share personal stories and create this performance. And what you are going to see today is the culmination of the project. And yeah, it's been a year-long project. And you will see some people have experience performing and some do not. But we applaud every single one of them for their courage in bringing their personal stories to this public format, which is not an easy thing to do. But it's our hope that by doing so, by listening to others, that we will develop a deeper sense of empathy in our community and deepen our sense of a shared humanity, and hopefully step out of the fire. Darius.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Just as she stated, my name is Darius J. Manuel, and I am the Executive Artistic Director of Renegade Theatre Company and Conservatory. It has been such a beautiful honor to join forces with Inside Out Theatre Company to do this year-long project. It has taken so many different forms. And as you know, trying to bring a lot of voices into one room and have a lot of ideas helping to influence a lot of the artistic choices we make was quite challenging. However, one thing that we made sure we held on to is the belief in our ability to affect change in our community and the need for change to happen in our community. So it has been an adventure, and like she said, you are going to see a summation of all of our work tonight on this stage. What I think we can pride ourselves in, though, is there are so many different performers from so many different spectrums and walks of life that are coming together to present this piece to you, and I truly hope you enjoy that. But we would be remiss without giving a huge thank you and welcoming up to the stage a member of this amazing organization. None of this would be possible without the Community Foundation of Broward, so first and foremost, give them a round of applause. And I would like to bring up to the stage Angelica from the Community Foundation of Broward. Hello.
Okay, thank you. Hello, thank you for having me here today. So I'm Angelica Rosas. I'm Director of Community Impact over at the Community Foundation of Broward. And we are super excited to be here today and to have had the opportunity to support this particular project. As Robin mentioned earlier, this is an Art of Community project, and we have provided grants in that space for the past 10 years or so. But about 18 months or so ago, when the COVID really hit, we were getting ready to launch the RFP process, its request for proposals for organizations to apply for projects. And we thought that the arts was really a good idea to marry what has happened in our community through the pandemic, through the civil unrest that has taken place, and all of the 7 projects, this one included, were approved to provide social justice-focused arts projects. And so for the past 12 months or so, there's been 7 different projects going on throughout Broward that have engaged residents from different backgrounds, different races, ethnicities, gay, straight, old, young, And they've all come together in different forums. From what Robin and Darius described here, there has been round table conversations, there's been poetry slams, there's been arts exhibits, all kinds of fun that has been happening throughout Broward. But today, I am so super excited to see this culmination. And, you know, let's give Robin and Darius a big round of applause because they've been fantastic.
We do hope you enjoy the show, and thank you again for coming.
discrimination,
Fear of the unknown.
Racism. Police brutality.
Ableism. Misrepresentation.
False judgment.
Ignorance. Intolerance. Colorism.
discrimination,
Fear of the unknown.
Racism. Police brutality.
Ableism. Misrepresentation.
False
Ignorance.
My community's on fire!
My name is Chris, and they told me to kind of write about my thoughts on social injustice in our country. You know, they said that some people were trying to enact change in our community ever since we watched George Floyd get murdered. I'm not that great at public speaking, but I can write. They asked me to write about my thoughts on social injustice, and I can only write what I know. So here's what I know.
Loud bang hurts me. I know the sirens are triggering. It's creation.
I've been walking with my face turned to weight on my shoulder, pulling my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to where our stars gonna keep on keeping on? I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, I'm gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy water. You know I got 'em made of mine. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. You hear freedom calling, calling me to where our stars only keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone. And I just might fail, but Lord knows I tried. Sure as stars fill up the sky.
Freedom. When I first moved here, I envisioned this picture-perfect place, with freedom and America being a melting pot of cultures. I was excited. A brand new place, a place where people preached every single day for liberty and justice for all. But now, not so much. I live in America, and I'm scared. They preach freedom and unity, but they have this fear of anything foreign to them. I live in America, and I'm scared. I feel like I wake up in the morning and I never know which America I'm gonna get. Am I gonna get screamed at for speaking Spanish in public?
Speak English, please.
Or am I gonna get attacked when people find out that my parents came here on a moving truck? Am I gonna get accused of stealing or not being able to afford anything or being told constantly and reminded every day that people of my kind should
Go back to your own country.
I live in America, and I'm scared.
There are some things in life that really scare me, but nothing scares me more than anti-Semitism and the groups that promote it. As a child, growing up in the Bronx in the early 1970s, I lived in a multicultural neighborhood of all religions and ethnicities. I remember one summer evening going to the ice cream shop with my dad and my sisters, and some young men yelled at us.
You dirty Jews.
You don't belong here.
I was terrified that they were going to hurt us, especially my father. But my dad held his head up high and held our hands a little tighter and walked on, ignoring their hateful words. I was in awe of his bravery. I would be dishonest if I said that I feel safer being a Jew in 2022, when I listen to the news and I scroll through social media and I read about the huge rise in anti-Semitic incidents happening all over our world, the United States, Florida included, once again, I become that scared little girl grasping my daddy's hands. A few months ago, I was walking to synagogue on the Sabbath when someone yelled out of a truck, "Fucking Jews!" I was horrified, shocked. How could someone feel so much hate towards me who didn't even know me? When I got to the synagogue, there were anti-Semitic flyers pasted all over the windows and the doors of the building and all over the street. I looked around and I wondered, who could be distributing these in my neighborhood? How could this be happening today? I have relatives who are Holocaust survivors, who lived through the unimaginable, who suffered a darkness and an evil that to this day is incomprehensible to the human mind. Some of my relatives were able to talk about their experiences, while others were not. When I hear about Holocaust deniers and educators who don't think the Holocaust should be taught in schools, I want to scream. History must be taught to keep this evil from ever happening again. We must teach tolerance, respect, and kindness to our children. After the atrocities of the Holocaust, we said never again, but it is happening again. It is 2022. Hate is rising, and I'm scared.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to help you get through the crowd.
Thank you, but I can't take care of myself.
Okay, I understand, but there are electric scooters if you want.
It is infuriating because they assume that I am older, I can walk, I am incapable to understand, I need an electric scooter, I am a little bit over, but it doesn't mean I can walk. The worst is my doctor. Last week, I went to see him to tell about I have a pain in my hip, and he brushes me off with,
"What do you expect? You're old."
So, here's her bill. Make sure she takes 3 after each meal, once a day. Does she have any blood pressure?
I'm not very sure.
the time before I had tried to set him straight because he started to talking to me, to talking to my daughter, explaining the diagnosis and giving to her the prescription. I have sat for that. My daughter doesn't need the prescription. My doctor ignored me completely. I feel useless and alienated. I got tired of the feeling feeling useless and alienated. I got tired of the feeling and I snapped. Doctor, I say, I am 75 years old, not 2. My daughter doesn't need the prescription. I do. I think that he got the hint. I am not saying getting older is a cake walk. There are challenges like technology. My grandchildren make fun of me because I cannot understand all the new technologies so easily.
Graham, please tell me that you did not use the iPad cover as a cutting board.
You don't need a magnifying glass, Grandma. Use the zoom function.
Did you write down all of your favorite websites in this notebook? Oh, that's so cute!
Making fun of me? They have to take more time with me, explaining things, sitting and talking to me. They spend all their time on their cell phone, on their phones, computer. The hardest part of getting older is lonely. Most of my friends have passed away. And recently, I lost my husband of 50 years. 50 years. Yeah. The loneliness That's the hardest part. I keep the TV on while I sleep. It's a little company.
At night, when everything is quiet, this old house seems to breathe a sigh. Sometimes I hear a neighbor snoring. Sometimes I hear a baby cry. Sometimes I hear a staircase creaking. Sometimes a distant telephone. And the quiet settles down again. The house and I are all alone. Lonely house, lonely me. Funny, with so many neighbors, how lonely it can be. How lonely street, lonely town. Funny, you can be so lonely with all these folks around. I guess there must be something I don't comprehend. Sparrows have companions. Even stray dogs find a friend. The night for me is not romantic. Unhook the stars and take them down. I'm lonely in this lonely house, in this lonely town.
I was lonely when I first moved here. I came by myself from Japan to the United States in 1989. Since I was a young child, I had always been fascinated by Western music, and I always wanted to learn English language. So right after high school, I moved to Oregon. So right after high school, to learn the language. From there, I moved to Los Angeles, where I graduated from university. Have I ever experienced discrimination? Of course. Many, many times. Many times, I sat in a restaurant and the wait staff ignored me. They would ask right by me, and they would walk right by me and never ask, how can I help you? And so many times, ignorant people have asked me,
Are you Chinese?
Are you Korean?
Are you Japanese?
it's like asking Ukrainians if they are Russians. When countries have a long history of war, hatred between them, the people of those countries do not want to be associated with those other people. Hate runs deep. Forgiveness is hard to achieve. The Koreans still hate the Japanese because of what happened a long, long, long time ago, like during the World War time, like 1941. Even though the Emperor of Japan has apologized many times, it's not enough for them. Sometimes apologies are just not enough. So it's better to just ask,
Where are you from?
I'm from Japan. And not all Asians look like. We all look different. I have a Japanese friend who is married to a Caucasian man, and the other night they had a babysitter. When she wanted to leave, she turned to my friend.
Everything went great. He ate well. He went to bed on time. Oh, he's so cute. He kind of looks like you, though. Asian, I mean. Because when he's sleeping, that's when his eyes are slanty.
That's a very rude thing to say to someone. Because doing this is very derogatory. If you ask someone in China what they think of Japanese, they will do this. If you ask someone in Korea what they think of Japanese, they will do this. If you ask someone in Japan what they think of other Asian countries, they will do this. Each country thinks they are better than each other, better than the other. The worst discrimination I've ever faced, though, was in Europe. I was in Croatia, and I walked into a grocery store, and a group of high school students saw me. They hadn't seen many Asians, and they started clapping and shouting,
Chinese, 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 Chinese.
They chased me down the street. I was so scared. The past couple of years have been very, very scary. There have been many Asian Americans attacked and killed. People image Asian women with long, straight black hair, with skinny physiques, which is an easy target. So, I went the complete opposite. It's a self-defense. Yep. So I think no one will want to mess with me when they see this. Many guys are intimidated by my strength. So many times I've been dumped by a guy because he will say to me,
I thought you were Japanese, but you're not.
well, their image of Japanese women is they're so submissive and they will do everything for guys and just say, yes, yes, yes. I'm not like that.
Right.
Women are changing. I noticed that Asian American women, especially women born and raised in this country, their personalities are much, much stronger. Yes, things are changing, slowly like baby steps. There is more awareness of the community, and Asians in the media are slowly increasing. This is the worst time for Asian Americans. But despite the darkness, there's a light. I see that.
Chang Su wrote, just when a caterpillar thinks it's the end of the world, he transforms into a beautiful butterfly. The caterpillar, you see, has to crawl into a dark, tight, and uncomfortable place in order to experience its evolution, its revolution, its growth. The human experience, or humans, when you think about it, the human experience isn't much different than that. Sometimes there are conversations that we have to have that are our versions of the dark, tight, and uncomfortable place. Yet, we need to be brave enough to have these conversations in order to experience our own growth.
There are over 500,000 people experiencing homeless here in the United States. But it's hard to get a complete count because when you're homeless, you're just not counted. Not really, anyways. It's as if you don't exist. I've been off the street for 6 years now. but I still carry around a backpack just in case. That's one of the lasting effects for someone who has experienced long-term homelessness, because you never really get over it. It's an experience you will never forget, a living hell. To this day, I still have nightmares about my time on the streets. I knew I was in trouble from about the time I was 5. From the time I was 5, I knew I should have been a girl. From the age of 5, I was morbidly depressed. At the age of 5, I wished I had never been born. Suicidal thoughts were an ever-present thing for me, pretty much every day throughout my entire life. Severe panic and anxiety disorder followed as I grew older. I turned to booze and dope to find relief when I was younger and eventually overcame it. I'd been living at the homeless camp by the library in Stranahan Park for about 9 months. If I'm going to sleep somewhere, even if it's outdoors, I don't want trash all around me. So I started picking up the trash every day. And I picked up a lot of garbage. A lot. During all the weekend feedings, I would put a small mountain of trash bags on the corner. I didn't have a picker-upper. I picked it all up by hand. I kept the whole place spotless. I did that for some months. Someone must have been watching over me or watching me, because it wasn't long after that I was able to get into my apartment and get off the street. The first few nights, I slept on my cardboard, and I slept like I hadn't slept in years. The first few nights of peace I had in years. I've known people beaten, many, and stabbed to death, one. I knew one guy my age who froze to death under a bridge. It was 40 degrees that night. The 500,000 plus on the street are there for many reasons: addiction, mental illness, financial setbacks that they just couldn't bounce back from, men, women, families, mothers with children, mothers with babies. How is this possible? In the land of the free, in the home of the brave, the land of opportunity. Think about it tonight when you lock your door and you sleep safely in your own bed. Almost all the people on the street wish they had a way out. The rest will choose not to accept any help for many reasons. But those who wish to be helped must be helped. They're struggling just to have the basic, simple human needs: food, water, clothes, and a shelter, a home. I'm forever grateful to Joanne Smith and her friend Jerry Pryor and the Fort Lauderdale Women's Club for all the help they gave me getting off the street and all the help they've given me since I've been off the street. I'm also grateful to my friends Gloria and Tony for all they did for me. Their ministry feeds, clothes, and ministers to the homeless every Sunday and every Monday downtown Fort Lauderdale. I learned to accept help and try my best to be of service to others. There's no way I can ever thank the countless people who helped me and watched out for me, who watched my back when I was on the street. But I try to give back every day. Realize how blessed you are if you have these things, and maybe you'll join us as we work helping to pay it forward. Thank you.
Mom? Dad? I have to talk to you. This is going to be really hard for me to say, but I really need to tell you this.
Oh, honey, it's okay. You can tell us anything. Are you having trouble in school?
No, it's not that. It's just... Ever since I was little, I've always wanted to be a boy. I've never felt comfortable living as a girl.
Well, everyone is different and special in their own way.
This is because you let her play baseball.
No, that's not it. So, there was a time, I was 4 years old, and I remember I would slick my hair back and look in the mirror, and my hair would just look really short, and I'd be so happy because I look like a boy. One time in the grocery store, a woman came up to us, and she called me your son, and I was so happy because that's what I wanted to be. And I've even had these dreams, but I was never the bride in those dreams. I was always the groom.
This is ridiculous. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Listen, honey, you're only 14. And adolescence is a very confusing time, but I promise you, one day you'll have a boyfriend.
No, you're not listening. I don't want a boyfriend. I want a girlfriend.
Lots of girls experiment with their sexualities.
I did experiment, but I don't want to be a girl. I want to be a boy.
I'm done listening. You're very confused and need help.
The hardest part was my parents' rejection. I felt trapped. I was so uncomfortable living as a girl, and I wanted their acceptance, but I also needed to be free. It's been difficult maneuvering and learning how to engage in a world that's just so open-minded, yet so closed-minded when it comes to these topics. I know I've made the right decision, though. I don't feel the same stress or the same discomfort I did when I was living as a girl. And I know that once my facial hair starts to come in, which I don't know if you guys can actually see it, I have one beard haircut actually going right here. But once it actually starts to come in, that's when I'll start getting more confidence and happier with myself.
Hair. Let's be real. Hair is essential to our identity and our self-esteem. And for a long time, Black women were not allowed to feel good about who they were. We were told in order to look good or to feel good, our hair had to be long, straight, and silky. Just like the hair of white women. There were even Black women denied jobs because of their afros. So, we spent millions of dollars and hours of time straightening, curling, buying wigs. I really thought that it was just so uncool and so unpopular to just be me. I know a woman who went to a Catholic school up north where most of the kids were white, and one day she spent 8 hours sitting at her neighbor's house in a chair getting her hair braided in cornrows. The next day, she walked into school, thrilled with the way she looked, but her principal, a very strict nun, stopped and said to her,
That kind of look won't work here.
And she commanded her to take her braids out. A few weeks later, a white girl came home from a cruise from the Bahamas with her hair all braided in cornrows and...
Oh, well, it looks like someone had fun in the Bahamas.
No one said anything to her. And she rocked that hairdo for weeks. I'm tired of not loving myself for who I am. I'm tired of not thinking that I'm beautiful because of my hair. I am beautiful, just the way I am. And now that I finally believe that, I'm free.
I want to be free, but I suffer from depression. I'm held down by this unbearable weight. I can barely move. It's not to say that I can't move, I can, it's just a lot of work. too much work. And I know that everybody has their own weight, right? But it's like I look around me and everyone else has figured out how to carry theirs.
You should try juice diets. I heard they work wonders.
I just put all that negative energy into getting fit.
Maybe you're just not drinking enough water.
Everybody is more than happy to give advice. Smile!
Just don't think about it. Stop moping.
But it doesn't work the way that it should. Heaven forbid I tell them that, though, because people don't like it when you dismiss their advice.
Just get over it.
You're young. There's no reason for you to be depressed.
Then your boyfriend's hot, so why are you complaining?
I'm trying. I know. Yes, and I don't know. It gets tiring. So tiring that it kind of makes you just want to shut up and carry the weight around silently for as long as you can. But nobody deserves to be forced to do that. I know that I'm lucky. I'm lucky enough to have found a therapist covered by my health insurance and to be done with the process of cycling through medications with side effect lists all a mile long. Side effects may include dizziness, drowsiness, insomnia, general weakness, flu-like symptoms, anorexia, yawning, and sexual dysfunction. But there are plenty of people who aren't as lucky as me. And if my weight still sometimes feels too heavy to carry when I'm this lucky, then what about them? How can we help them? I wish that I could pull a John Oliver and tell you about some bill about to be voted on in Congress. Tell you that the best thing you can do is contact your representatives and display your support for people struggling with mental health issues, but I can't. I don't know what the best thing to do is. But I know that a good place to start might be a little more sympathy and a little less advice involving kale. When I was just 6 months old, it was noticed that I had tics. My hand would shake constantly. It's cute when you're a baby, but mocked when you're 21, and it's a habit you still can't shake. Pun pretty intended. My legs bounce, my eyes twitch, my nose scrunches. But to stop takes every ounce of focus that I can conjure. It feels like ants crawling underneath the surface of my skin, and I lose all focus for anything else if I conform. Sit still.
Pay attention.
Make eye contact.
I can remember, down to the color of the shirt that I was wearing, light blue. The day that, at 11 years old in my 5th grade classroom, my teacher yanked my chair out from under me and pushed it up to the front of the room, uncomfortably close to the board.
And pay attention over there, then you're gonna sit over here to the board where you can pay attention to me.
The board was electronic and cast light. I was sitting so close now that it hurt my eyes and made me squint. And the thing is, I had been paying attention, but I hadn't been looking at him as he had been speaking. For some people, focus may indeed include eye contact and still hands, but it can look drastically different for others. Instead of communicating with people with autism, ADHD, and similar conditions, we are forced to conform, or mask, as we call it. After that class, it took me years to get to a position where I could love myself and my autism and ADHD. I am creative. I have a quick wit. I love the arts. I write, I sing, I perform. I have the ability to hyper-focus on niche subjects and take in incredible amounts of information in ways that others may not be able to. I want the same things as everyone else in this country: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I also have autism. I am neurodivergent. My only request is that instead of advocating on behalf of our community and infantilizing all of us, communicate with us. Ask what we want.
What we want.
We are diverse.
We are diverse.
And there are so many of us with different wants and needs. The next time you see someone displaying a trait that you find unusual, I challenge you to question your judgment. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, I challenge you to ask yourself why.
I'm scared. I'm scared that I'm gonna get pulled over by the police officer and they're gonna ask for my ID. I may still look like a man, but my ID still says I'm a woman.
Open up! This is the police. This is the men's restroom. Is there a woman in there?
After middle school, me and the boys went down to the court, thought I could break some ankles, maybe even dunk on somebody. And then a cop had swerved right in front of us, put us up against the gates, asked if we had drugs, searched our bags. We're hoopers, we don't even mess with all that stuff. Luckily, the local officer that we was at the school how drove by, stopped whatever they were doing, said, "What are y'all doing? These are good kids here." He asked, "Oh, they fit the description." He said, "Well, what was the description?" Curly hair, black hoodie, and Jordans. That's damn near what each and every one of us look like. It's a damn shame.
I was born in New York, but I was raised in Texas in the 80s. Now, you can imagine the racial climate in Texas in the 80s. It's kind of like the racial climate in Miami in 2022. Imagine growing up watching television and all the shows that you love were underlying racist. Imagine no representation on television that looked like you or your mom, or your dad, brother, sister. Watching the news and seeing like people that look like you being arrested, being called criminals. That's what I saw. But I was too young to realize the conditioning and the mental indoctrination that was happening to me, well, and to millions of other Americans, frightened Americans, I should add, of other races. Imagine that every store you went into, you got followed. Imagine being turned down for every job application you turned in except for flipping burgers. Sounds cliche, I know, but it's true. It was true then, and it's true today for millions of Americans with brown skin. Imagine being pulled over and searched for drugs every time. Imagine being labeled as a drug dealer. Imagine being labeled as a gangster. Now, I didn't have any fashion sense then. I probably still don't have any fashion sense now, so that could have been part of the reason, but I'm pretty sure it was more the color of my skin than it was the way I was dressed. At one point in my life, however, I realized that the way that some people deal with their trauma is by playing victim. And when you play victim, you need to make somebody out to be the bad guy. And at that point, things in my life and in my mental changed. How about this? I was in Argentina shooting a commercial for Appleton Rum. I flew back into Miami early in the morning, and of course I was pulled out of line to be searched. Random search, of course, right? And frisk, search, undressed, and then put in a room for 2 hours. Then they found $3,000 in my wallet. They closed the whole airport down. Where did you get this money? What are you doing with $1,000 in your... $3,000, y'all. I'll never forget this one question that was asked to me by one of the customs officers. He said, and I quote, "Help me figure this out. How does a young black man like you have money to travel to Argentina? And why do you have $3,000 cash in your wallet?" You know what I said? I said, first of all, I dance.
He said,
oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
I said, I dance. Second of all, dude, why are you acting like it's $3 million? It's $3,000. That's not even 2 months' rent in Miami. Third of all, I told you I was in Argentina, I did a commercial, and they paid me my balance before I left the country. Why is that so hard to believe? Oh, I got a better one. How about the time here in Plantation, Florida, I finished my dinner in a restaurant, I got up to leave, I went to the nearest exit sign, and I started to leave. It was an emergency exit. It didn't say emergency exit, it said exit. There was no red things on the door. We do read, right? A waitress from across the bar goes, "He's trying to get away without paying," to the whole restaurant. And she grabbed my arm, and I was like, No, I didn't do that. I did not do that. No, I thought about it. Fortunate enough for me, my waitress came through and said he did pay. Thank you for the generous tip. And apologized for her coworker. Do you think I got an apology from the coworker? Oh, okay. Just checking. Just checking. So, this is kind of like my life, my reality on a daily basis. But before I got one more thing I want to say. Dear Mr. Police Officer, I have 2 young, beautiful daughters. I am not going to try to hurt you, bro. I respect your job. I respect you. I am not going to try to hurt you. I am not going to run. I have nothing to run for. I am not a criminal. I did not commit a crime. I do apologize if I was going a few miles over the speed limit. Can you please just give me my ticket and allow me to return home so that my daughters can be raised with a father in the house like I'm sure you like for your children? Please and thank you, Black America.
I'm tired, okay? Tired of waiting. Tired of explaining. Tired of fear. Afraid to walk down the street. Afraid of getting pulled over when I drive. Tired of turning on the television and seeing my brothers and sisters being shot and killed for no reason other than the color of their skin.
I'm tired. Exhausted from having to defend who I am, how I feel, who I love, who I sleep with. That's private stuff, and I shouldn't have to defend it in public, on social media, and even in the courtrooms.
I'm tired of prejudice.
I'm tired of discrimination.
I'm tired of hate. I'm tired of judgment.
Feeling like others have to police everyone else.
I'm tired of madmen thinking that they're better than everyone else. Taking from others, thinking they deserve more?
I'm tired of war.
I'm tired of the fighting, divisiveness, liberal, conservative, left, right, CNN, Fox, rich, poor, vaxxer, anti-vaxxer, red, blue, white, black, brown, gay, straight, bi, young, old, typical, atypical. I'm tired.
Outside my window's a scraggly little tree. It's beaten and broken, just like me. My neighbors all tell me I should get to cutting, but I'm not cutting anything. I look beyond the pressure of their words. I can see floating around it a couple hummingbirds. Who am I to cut down the comfort that they found? And though their buzzing's loud, maybe they should stay around. 'Cause what if beyond their buzzing, the song they're singing can change the world? And what if, without us knowing, the sounds of their can save the world? Why are the ones with more to say the same ones we push away? And what if our days will remain gray till they can sing a new song? Here they go again, trying to tell me what to feel, trying to use beauty to distract from what is real. Cause we're resilient, we're brilliant, we'll make it, we'll find a way to thrive. Cause we'll stay alive, but I must emphasize, just because I can carry it doesn't mean I want to. And most of the load anyway is because of you. You who never really heard me out, but you choose to say you'll take a stand. What I need now more than ever is more than just an empty hand. What if beyond my buzzing, the song I'm singing can change the world? What if without us knowing, the sound of my melody can save the world? Why are the ones with more to say the same ones we push away? What if our days would remain gray till we can see? I sing for the bird that's buzzing, for the tree that's leaning, for the world that's burning down. And I sing for the mom who's yearning, for the son that's not returning, cause he's been shot down. This is for the boy with the toy who was stopped when he was little, the no-knock gunshots or over a skittle. Our happiness is demonized, but see there is power when we sing. So I sing cause the hope that I have for tomorrow and strength to push through the pain is only mine to borrow. Freedom feels scraggly, just like the leaning tree. So I sing, oh, 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 I sing through the pain, cause I know this may seem scary, but we will keep on singing and we won't refrain. We will sing because we're through with the world that's built for you. And like a hummingbird would do, here's my song. You can tell the neighbors I'm not cutting anything.
I know something else too. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, "No one is free until everyone is free." Now the question is, how are we going to do that?